Hello, my people. Good day to you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for tuning in every single day to listen to me on Daily Mind Shift. My name is Michael Ujola for Mindset Transformation Africa, and on today's episode, I want us to talk about how we talk to ourselves. All right. Let me anchor today's episode on this statement. Be careful how you talk to yourself. Beating yourself up doesn't build a better future. It only anchors you to the past and slows your progress. Be careful how you talk to yourself. Beating yourself up doesn't build a better future for you. It only anchors you. It only links you to the past and slows your progress. I want you to think about the most influential voice in your life. Is it a parent? Is it a mentor? Is it a friend? Is it a spiritual leader? While these external voices certainly play a role, the most constant, pervasive, and ultimately impactful voice is your own. It is the internal monologue, right? The running commentary, the silent narrator of your life. And for many of us, that narrator can be incredibly harsh, critical, and unforgiving. If you're hearing background voices, it's because I'm recording this in my office, very close to the road, all right? So permit me today. All right, we often wouldn't tolerate from a friend what we routinely inflict upon ourselves. Would you tell a friend that they are stupid for making a mistake? Would you constantly remind them of their past failures? Would you call them worthless for not achieving a goal? Probably not. If you consistently do that, you guys will not be friends for long. But we allow those very thoughts to echo in our own minds, believing that this self-flagellation is somehow motivating, that it will push us to do better, that it will push us to be better. We even think we are being realistic, all right? But here's the profound truth. Beating yourself up doesn't build a better future. It doesn't even inspire growth. It doesn't accelerate your progress. Instead, it does the exact opposite. It anchors you firmly to the past. It traps you in a cycle of regret, shame, and self-doubt. It drains your energy. It erodes your confidence. And ultimately, it slows your progress towards the very future that you desire. When you constantly criticize yourself, you are not just being mean. You are actively programming your subconscious mind with negative beliefs. Your brain listens to what you tell it. If you tell yourself you are not good enough, that you always mess up, that you are a failure, your brain will find evidence to support those beliefs. It creates a self-fulfilling prophecy, making it harder to take risks, to learn from mistakes, and to believe in your own capacity for change. And then you tell yourself that I told you this is how it will play out. No, that is a self-fulfilling prophecy. That is not how it's supposed to play out. But because you think consistently and you talk consistently that is how it will play out, life works that way. This is not about ignoring your flaws or pretending everything is perfect. That is delusion. This is about a fundamental shift in how you approach self-correction and personal growth. It is about moving from a punitive, destructive internal dialogue to a compassionate and constructive one. So, the mind shift that we need to make is to recognize the immense power of our inner dialogue and to consciously choose to become our own most supportive coach rather than our harshest critic. It is about understanding that beating yourself up doesn't build a better future. It only anchors you to the past and it slows your progress. Let's break this down. Let me talk a little bit about why this shift in self-talk is so crucial for your future and for your progress. Number one, beating yourself up anchors you to the past. When you constantly replay past mistakes, when you constantly berate yourself for perceived failures, or you dwell on what you should have done, you are effectively living in the past. Your mental energy is consumed by what cannot be changed. This prevents you from fully engaging with the present moment. It prevents you from learning from your experiences, and also prevents you from strategizing for a better future. It keeps you stuck in the loop of regret and rumination rather than propelling you forward. True progress requires forward momentum. It requires a willingness to acknowledge the past, to extract lessons from them, and then consciously move on. See, self-criticism, when it becomes self-punishment, keeps you chained to the very things that you need to leave behind. Beating yourself up also slows your progress. Imagine trying to run a race with a heavy weight strapped to your back. That weight is the burden of constant self-criticism. It saps your energy. It undermines your confidence. It makes every step forward feel like an uphill battle. When you believe you are inherently flawed or incapable, you are less likely to take risks. You are less likely to persevere through challenges, and more likely to give up at the first sign of difficulty. Progress is fueled by belief in your ability to learn, to adapt, and to improve. It requires resilience in the face of setbacks. When your internal dialogue is constantly bearing you down or tearing you down, it destroys that belief and it erodes that resilience. You become hesitant, you become fearful, you become paralyzed by the fear of making another mistake, which ironically is the very thing that slows your progress to a crawl. Conversely, a compassionate and encouraging internal dialogue acts like a tailwind. It provides the psychological safety net that allows you to experiment, to fail, to learn, and to try again. It builds confidence. It develops and encourages resilience, and it keeps you motivated even when the path is difficult. So the question now is, how do we make this mind shift? How do we transform our internal critic into an internal coach? The first thing you do is to become aware of your self-talk. Learn how you talk to yourself. Just like any habit, the first step is awareness. Pay attention to the thoughts that run through your mind, especially when you make a mistake, or especially when you face a challenge, especially when you feel insecure. What words do you use? What tone do you take? Just observe without judgment. And the second thing you do is to challenge negative thoughts, all right? Once you identify a negative thought, don't just accept it as truth. Question it. Is it 1000% true? Is it helpful? Will you say this to a friend or to your child? Often, our self-criticism is exaggerated, it's irrational, or it's simply untrue. So by challenging these thoughts, you begin to dismantle their power. And the third thing is, reframe self-criticism as constructive feedback. Instead of saying, I'm so stupid for doing that, try saying, that didn't work out as I intended. What can I learn from this experience to do better next time? And the fourth is, practice self-compassion. All right, treat yourself better. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding and patience that you will offer to a good friend or to your child who is struggling. Acknowledge your pain, your imperfections, and your humanity. Remind yourself that everyone makes mistakes and that growth is a process. And number 5, use positive affirmations. With caution though. See, while simply repeating positive phrases can sometimes feel inauthentic, affirmations are powerful. They can be powerful when they are believable and specific. So instead of saying, I am perfect, that can be delusional. Try saying, I am capable of learning and growing, or I am doing my best right now. Focus on affirmations that reinforce your capacity for progress and self-acceptance. Surround yourself also with supportive voices. Focus on progress, not perfection. And finally, practice self-forgiveness. Just as we discussed in previous episodes, forgiveness is a powerful act of liberation. Forgive yourself for past mistakes, not for being perfect, for falling short of your own expectations. Do you understand? Just forgive yourself. So I challenge you today. Listen to your inner voice. When you catch yourself being overly critical of yourself, pause. challenge that thought and replace it with a kinder, more constructive